So what's in a name? What's the meaning or the story behind your given name? Hi, my name is Nanda Abesha and I'm the creator of Project Ananda. If you're watching this is part of Project Ananda's YouTube channel. This is one of the videos that we are launching as part of this project. And Project Ananda, it's an online community of people sharing life lessons and experiences so we can start a conversation about things that matter to us, to learn from each other, to become a better version of ourselves. So if you want to learn more about Project Ananda, you can click on this link, and if you want to learn more about me, you can click on this link. So this video, it's about your name, your given name. It's something that I've always thought a lot about, and I'll tell you why. So my actual full legal name, it's Maria Fernanda Abesha Basigalupo. I know, super long, right? But I never used that name. I've always been called Nanda all my life. Since I have memory of existing, that's how my family and friends have called me. So you might ask me, so Nanda, do you ever use Maria or Fernanda? Well, you know, when I go to the doctor once a year for a checkup, I usually just use Maria because that's the name that appears on my documents. So people, when they call me, you know, they say Maria, and so I just go. So yeah, sometimes I use it for like pragmatic purposes, bureaucratic purposes. I do use Maria, but I don't use it to present myself in a personal way. If you want to know me, if you really want to know who I am, I'm not Maria and I'm not Fernanda, I'm Nanda. So I have a fun story to share with you about my name. This happened to me when I was living in New York. One Christmas, I was sending this box with presents to Argentina. So, you know, you have the box, you write your name and then the name of the person you're sending the stuff to. And so I wrote Nanda Abesha. That's my name. So I go to the post office. When I'm giving this box to this woman at the post office, she, you know, accepts the box and she looks at the label with the names written on it. And she looks at me and the label, you know, and then she was like, "Are you Nanda?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm Nanda." And she looks at the label again, and she looks at me again, and she was like, "But that's an Indian name." So that was the first time I found out that actually Nanda, it's a very typical, traditional, kind of important name in Indian culture. What's the meaning behind your name? What's the importance behind your name, you know? Until that time, for me, Nanda was just a nickname, and that was it. It wasn't like a name that was important or had like all this super big and super interesting meaning behind in a different culture. So that opened up another space for reflection for me in terms of my name. So what's the story behind your name? Are you from more of a Western culture or from an Asian culture? For example, I know that in Asian cultures, giving a name to a baby is not just about finding a name that is pretty or that is fashionable, but it has a deeper meaning. sometimes it's related to astrology. It's true that in Western cultures we also give importance to names that run in the family, no? And for male names, that happens more often. I feel that for female, your granddad was named Roberto, so you name your kid Roberto, stuff like that. Although that has been changing a lot, I feel. So it's no longer the case. We don't give that importance anymore. But I feel that in Asian cultures, the given name can have like an importance that is much more related to cultural roots. And also, for example, in China, you usually use the last name, not the family name, to call someone that you're not so familiar with. And I feel that's super interesting, no? Because again, that gives a completely different sense and meaning to given names. It would be great to hear from you in terms of your story, if you know your story about your given name. And when we were talking about Asian cultures, and it happens also a lot, and not only for Asian cultures, but I find here in Spain, I see it also from African cultures. If you move to a different country and you feel that your name, the pronunciation of your name can be difficult in that country, in your adopted country, sometimes people change their names to make it easier for people in their adopted country to understand what their name is. Whenever I come across that people, I usually tend to ask for their original names, no? Because I do feel that sometimes you use an adopted name to make other people's life easier, but not yours. I remember that when I was living in the US, that when I would say Nanda, and people would be like, whenever I said my name, they would say Amanda, and I was like, no, Nanda, Nanda. For me, it was important for them to understand, to make that little effort of understanding. Before, whenever I would think about my given name, it was a matter of identity. This is my name, this is who I am. And that has changed for me. That change is related to my inner journey, to my journey in terms of growing as a spiritual person, and realizing that, my name and my personal traces and characteristics are just that. That is not what defines me. That is just part of who I am in this material, let's say, realm. But that's not me, like me in all caps. My name is just something that allows people to call me, basically. So that's how I feel it right now. But I still attach importance to my name. So what is that importance? So I wondered about that. I realized that the importance that my name has today is related to the people I love, because that's how they call me. That's how they think of me. When they think of me, when they call me Nanda. Or maybe the people that I'm gonna love in the future, because as I told you at the beginning of this video, that's the name I use. Whenever I introduce myself as Nanda. So I do that because whenever I introduce myself, I'm trying to establish a connection with other people. And that connection, I always establish it from love. Maybe, I establish that connection with someone that I'm no longer gonna see in the future. But still, I like establishing that connection from love. And given that that's the way I establish my connections, I have to establish it from a sincere point of view. And that sincere point of view comes with Nanda, no? With me introducing myself as Nanda. So that's why my name is important right now. So I so much want to hear from you. It is so important in Project Ananda that you participate. This is the whole reason for existing. This is why we're making these videos, because we want to spark a dialogue, a conversation. So please leave a comment in the comment section. I'm gonna also leave resources in relation to this, so we can, you know, have more material around this topic. And don't forget to subscribe to Project Ananda YouTube channel, to click on the bell so you learn from our new videos and stay in touch with us. Also follow us in our social media. In Instagram is project_Ananda. So yeah, we want to hear from you. See you next time.